Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be another Mary's Mini video, and it's honestly the simplest diet to implement. It is just you pick a starch, you stick to it, and you don't add any animal products, no oil, no butters, none of that stuff. You're just eating your simple starch that you've chosen, and then you're adding it with non-starchy veggies. So if you have not watched any of my other Mary's Mini videos, I suggest going to the playlist, watching them, because that will give you more of an overview of what the Mary's Mini is. But briefly, what it is Dr. McDougall's wife, Mary McDougall, created a 10-day quick reset kind of diet that will help you shed some weight, help you get that bloating down, and just bring you back to a very simple way of eating. So on the Mary's Mini diet, you get to pick one starch. So some people choose potatoes, that's the most common. I find that I do better when I'm actually having rice, so I will do rice more often. Some people do corn, some people do oatmeal, but you pick one. And I will link in the video a little outline that I have from a blog post that gives you kind of some ideas of different starches you can have. So while on the Mary's Mini, you're going to pair your starch with your non-starchy veggies, and there's a whole variety of non-starchy veggies that you can choose from. Choose whatever you prefer or mix it up as you go along through the days. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're going to be having that starch and the veggies at every single meal. So my last Mary's Mini, I did lose 9 pounds. I did not think I was going to lose that much. It's really weird. I was eating very large portions of food, but for whatever reason, I ended up losing 9 pounds. So typically it's 7 to 8 pounds is the normal amount of weight that I lose. But there was one potato mini where I just lost 6 pounds. And then if I do back-to-back minis, I find that obviously my second mini, I don't lose as much weight as the first because I've already shed all of that. So I just might lose another couple pounds on another mini. I hope that this video helps, because sometimes I get, a lot of messages saying I can't do 10 days. It's very complicated. How can I possibly eat just rice and veggies for every single meal? Like, how do you do it? And I think the key is making it as simple as possible and just getting out of that, fancy way of eating. Like, get that out of your head, because for 10 days you're going to be eating very, very simply. And that is the point that Mary was trying to get across with this 10-day mini. Very, very simple meals. So in this video, I'm just going to show you guys some very simple meals that I put together. And they also have to be very simple in the way that I can actually travel with it as well, because I work long 12-hour shifts. I need to have food with me, and it needs to be really easy that I can just pop into a container and off I go. So when I say simple, you're going to see it's very, very simple meals. So if you have any questions about the mini, or you need, some help and support on your mini, just message me. And you can find me on Instagram as well. I really, I'm always helping people while they're on their minis. I've done back-to-back minis just so I can kind of support others as well. I'm here. So if you have any questions, I will answer them. And if I can't answer them, then I'll probably just say, go on to Dr. McDougall's website and, watch that webinar that talks about the Mary's Mini. Maybe that will shed some light for you. But there are many resources. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So this week's video is going to be a video that is always requested all the time, because apparently there aren't that many resources online, and it's all about the Mary's Mini, which is Dr. McDougall's wife, Mary, created a 10-day short little diet that kind of reboots you and revamps your digestive system and helps you shed some weight quickly, and you just feel really good, and it kind of de-bloats you as well. And I've done quite a few of these, and I've done a potato mini a few times, but I do prefer the rice mini, and that's why I have more videos on this one. So in this video, I'm just going to be talking about some really quick and easy meals that you can throw together while on the rice mini. It doesn't have to be complicated. I know people freak out and say, oh, there's just no way that I can think of meals. using just one starch every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what are you eating on a rice mini? Well, you're eating rice every single day for 10 days. Some people do smaller minis for less than 10 days, but that's up to you. But a normal mini would be 10 days, and you're going to eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you choose the rice that you would rather eat for that 10 days. Some people mix their rices, which I never used to do until my last mini. I had like rice blend because I had run out of my regular rice, so I tried that and that was fine. And actually that was my most successful mini, and I was mixing my types of rice in that mini, so it's entirely up to you. You can choose one rice and stick with that, or you can mix up the rices and have brown rice and white rice. That is a preference thing. But yeah, so you're having rice at every single meal and you're making it very plain. You can add some seasoning to your rice as it's cooking, as long as it's oil free. That is acceptable. You are allowed to have condiments on the Mary's Mini. And you're just pairing that rice with veggies. So non-starchy veggies, there's so many to choose from. Just eat as many veggies as you can possibly get in and eat it alongside your rice, and you will feel full and satisfied for each and every meal. So I like to do things like sauteed mushrooms in a little bit of broth, and I add that to my rice as well, or asparagus. I like peas. I like a cauliflower, carrot, and pea and bean mix. I eat that a lot. Peas are fine. Peas and rice would be a great combination. Have at least one big leafy salad per day, I would say, but I do like to mix my greens in whatever I'm eating just to get in some leafy greens. And yeah, whatever you have on hand, whether it's frozen veggies or it's canned veggies, fresh veggies, everything is perfectly fine on the Mary's Mini. Whatever types of veggies you can get in, stick with those non-starchy veggies and pair it with your rice. I add a little bit of soy sauce and sriracha most of the time to my rice dishes just to jazz it up and add some flavor. So even when on the Mary's Mini, I'm still doing the 50-50 starch solution type plate. So I'm still filling my plate, or two separate bowls, one with my starch and then one with my non-starchy veggies. And I like cauliflower and broccoli, carrots. I like to use cabbage and kale and mixed greens. I will eat all kinds of different veggies just to add variety during my Mary's Mini. When I'm making my veggies, I tend to like to put it on a pan and I add a little bit of water and some garlic powder, some onion powder, paprika, maybe sometimes a little bit of salt and pepper. And other times, depending on what I'm making, I will use some veggie broth, and I'll just make sure that there's no oil in that veggie broth first. Key to the Mary's Mini is to eat until you are comfortably full. So if you make a portion of food that you think is sufficient and you eat it and you're still feeling hungry, then go back and get a second portion of your starch and your veggies and have that until you are completely satisfied for your meal. There will be days that you will need a snack in between your meals, and that's perfectly normal depending on how active you are during the day. So I suggest having some extra starch in your fridge, and that way it's easy to grab and it's on hand and you don't have to stress, and you've got your snack ready to go. Simple canned veggies are great for this as well because they're ready to go whenever you're hungry. Honestly, it's not that hard because Mary allows you to use light condiments like soy sauce or, ketchup or things like that. So you can add some extra flavor to your food. And these meals are really, really simple, but that's the whole idea behind the 10-day Mary's Mini is you're eating very, very simply. And I think a lot of people get caught up in creating these fancy meals on these minis. But that's exactly the opposite of what Mary wants us to do. She wants us to eat the same boring thing every single day, and that's how you're going to reset your system and revamp your body, and that's how you're going to be more successful at losing weight. It's also a revamp for the way we think when we're making our meals. We're always mixing all these different ingredients together. We are, putting together all of these different types of foods, and that's really taxing on our body for digestion. So this brings us back to a very simple way of eating and only a few ingredients, and it's just so easy on the body, and that's what she wants us to look at. So remember that, when you are on some of these, Facebook groups or whatnot, and people are creating these really fancy meals. That's fine if it's getting them through their 10 days, but it's kind of the opposite of what Mary's telling us to do. She wants us to eat as simply as possible. There is no complicated way of eating when you are on the Mary's Mini. So as far as weight loss goes, it really depends on the person. It depends on how much weight you have to lose. You know, some people are not even doing it for weight loss. They just want to, reset their taste buds, go back to a very simple way of eating. Maybe get some of that bloating down if they find that they are mixing a lot of foods and normal meals are just so extravagant that they have a bit of bloating. So they like doing the mini because that will eliminate all that bloating. But typically, I would say for myself, I lose about 7 to 8 pounds on a 10-day Mary's Mini. My last mini, I actually lost 9 pounds, and I don't know exactly why, but I did. I lost 9 pounds eating all of my rice dishes and my non-starchy veggies, and it was very, very easy. I was working a lot of those days, 12-hour shifts, but I was able to pack up my meals very easily because rice is just super simple. You just throw it in a container, add your veggies, and off you go to work. So yeah, this was my Mary's Mini simple meal video. I hope it helped and gave you some ideas of how it doesn't have to be complicated. It really is extremely simple, and anybody can do a Mary's Mini successfully. So in some of these pictures, it is actually my work lunch. So I'm just showing you how easy it is to pack up those work lunches and still get in all those veggies. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and that way you don't miss any upcoming content. Have a great week ahead and stay healthy, everyone.